Camphor laurel's good. I like it when I'm demonstrating because people come from miles around to see what the stink is, and the people behind them come to see what the crowd is. And then you tell them all about camphor laurel and how it's now a weed and how it was.
Plenty around here.
Yes, it's all up and down the Queensland coast and northern New South Wales, and it was brought in. I think it's come from India, and the people who bought it were the early settlers from India. I mean, India was a huge English empire colony, while Australia was still only this big. And when Governor Lachlan Macquarie was sent to Australia, 1820s or thereabouts, because the Rum Corps wouldn't do as they were told, he was he wasn't a general, but he had a very senior army position, and he had his own regiment, but it was an Indian regiment. That's where they came from. They were British, but they'd been serving in India, and he needed his own army loyal to him to talk to the Rum Corps about what was the right thing for them to do, because the previous two governors they'd ignored totally. And, you know, the simple question, you and whose army, finally got a blunt answer.
Me and mine.
Yeah, me and mine. And
They brought camphor laurel trees.
I think they brought the camphor laurel with them from India,
Well, they like
where
them.
it is native, but it's not native here.
They
It
like
grows
their
like a weed
They like
because
their camphor boxes.
Okay.
it grows like a weed here because there are no natural pests that'll eat it. And in some respects, you'd think that would be a good thing, wouldn't you? Make a lovely plantation timber, and in fact, wood turners love it. And furniture makers have now realised its merits as a furniture timber. It has a beautiful colour. This is a piece of the outer wood, but when you get to the heartwood, it is all coloured. I think that's a piece up there.
Another bit on top of it.
And you can see from that that it's a lovely wood.
Beautiful.
It does some very pretty things. You make a shallow bowl out of that and it will be beautiful. And you get a nice shallow bowl out of that because this intrusion on the surface here, you turn away. And I think there'll be sound wood under there, and you'll have a nice finished piece. Lovely colour. You can't use it much for food, especially not for wet foods, because the flavour will taint the food fairly quickly.
So what about cutting boards? You see camphor laurel cutting boards everywhere.
I'm sorry?
Cutting boards?
Yes, they do. Now, when you leave a piece of camphor laurel for 6 months or 12 months, the smell tends to go away, and it's only when you cut a new raw surface that you'll smell it. So it does die right down, and if you oil it, you can seal
Aroma.
yeah, you can seal that in,